somebody stumbles on this video later, I'm just doing some live fishing in New Jersey in mid-October for panfish, ultralight, gear, crappie, bass, whatever bites. And to my sons Andrew and Joseph, if you guys are watching this many years down the road and Pops is not around, I appreciate you still coming out to fish with me. I'm leaving these memories behind for you, and I hope you go fishing by yourself, with your friends, and with your kids. Let's get it done. Let's start off with my favorite spot to not catch fish. What is a little murky today? Let's see. Just try and put my phone on my neck. All right. I'm just gonna unplug it. Here we go. I think we're in business. Give me a second. Oh, thanks for the like. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, Brack? Okay, I think we're good. Let me just fix my collar so it doesn't dig into my face. All right. I decided to skip trout fishing today. I kind of had enough. I'm not gonna make you suffer. Hey, what's going on, Demon? How's it going? Thanks for joining me. Yeah, no trout fishing today. I think we had enough yesterday. Plus, the connection is pretty bad. I watched back those videos, just some portions, and man, you guys, I was abusing you guys with that quality. Some of the video quality was really terrible. You know what? I still have all my rods with me, and actually grab an extra one with Mr. Senior Frog. Should we just cast them out there and try? I took my son's friend bass fishing. Set this rod up. I'm good. How are you doing, Drake? Drake, are you from the United States or you from? I probably asked before. You probably told me, but sometimes I forget. I'm getting better at it though. It usually takes me about 3, 4 times to find out where somebody's from. So don't be mad at me. It's normal. Sometimes I don't remember my kids' birthdays. I had this frog on, and you never know. Just for fun. It was actually it's an interesting rod. It's a Shakespeare Ultra ugly stick, but a better version of it. It's a Light Pro, which is you can go 16 to 12 pound line. So it's a bass fishing rod, really. Medium action. Oh, Drac, you're from Arkansas, so you can make fun of me, but when I was in college, I always called it Arkansas. And I actually had a friend from Arkansas. She's in Boston now, but really great person. I think most of the people from Middle America are pretty amazing. So yeah, she taught me. She's like, Grandpa Yorker, please don't say Arkansas. You sound like you have 3 brain cells in your head. You gotta say Arkansas. But you do say Kansas, right? Hey, GCP, what's going on? We're gonna take a break for trout fishing. Yeah, I feel like I'm abusing you guys when I take you trout fishing. I did buy a bunch of worms and mealworms, so we're just gonna do some light fishing today. Nothing crazy. I just had this frog on my. It's actually a frog from my short. I had it on my rod already, so I figured I'd cast it out a couple of times. And we'll do some ultralight too. We might move locations. Hold on to your hats. That's exactly where I lost my Chapo. There's a ton of bass in this lake, but they're very hard to catch. Very pressured. And some guys started blowing the spot up on Fish Brain. In the spring, there'll be like 20 guys here, and none of them will catch a fish. Very pressured, very smart fish, and you gotta know where they are. All right, that's it for the frog. Hey, Robert Booth, how you doing, man? Yeah, they're gonna stock. Like I said, this is just I'm sure everybody's gonna get out. Like what I noticed is when I was working full time as a driver last year, I kept a folded fishing rod in my, and I was around Bedminster one time. Haven't got it a penny, so I'm sitting in my car for like an hour. I'm like, let me unfold this. Let me go do some trout fishing. I swear to you, I put a Gulf minnow on there with an underspin jig head. I cast it into this hole where a million people fish on a random day during the week. It was like maybe like 1 or 2 p.m. Usually when the car service business is dead. Back to back, I pulled out three 2 pounders, three two-pound rainbows that were stocked. And this was like in November, I think. So basically, those rainbows that didn't get caught, you can always go back out there and catch them. So I figured, why drag you guys there again today and have poor connection and chase around that fish? Yesterday, I was basically chasing around a trout. I saw the trout. It was right in front of me. We were throwing everything at it, and it was just kind of like, whatever, dude, leave me alone. So I don't want to do that to you today. I even still have the rooster tail spinner on my rod. This is all the stuff I was fishing with yesterday. So I figure I throw the rooster tail. You never know. DCP, I saw your last video. I like it. What you can do, I don't know if you have space, but you can go on Facebook if you want a bear kayak. I mean, I love watching you try to manage it in that kayak too. But you can go on Facebook Marketplace. Everybody right now, especially around Baskin Ridge area, is getting rid of all their summer stuff. So I don't know if you have space to store it. Don't worry about putting it in your car, even if your car is small. You can buy 2 pool noodles and just, if you don't have far to go, just strap it with the pool noodles on your roof. You don't have to get any intricate roofing systems. Hey, what's going on, Bavarian Sky? How's it going, everybody? What's going on? Asby Bros, hey, what's going on? So yesterday I promised you guys I was going to make a Discord. Um, is that what it's called? But I got a call from a very inebriated client that told me to rescue him in New York City from all these, you know, questionable women that were trying to get his money. So I had to get into his vehicle and go rescue him. That's why I didn't make a. That's why I didn't make a Discord, because I was basically running around New York City around midnight trying to find my client. Grumpy Orca sometimes can be a dull babysitter for the rich. Yeah, but Manhattan bounced back after COVID. Everything's hopping now. You did? Nice. Hey, what's going on with the Ezra show? So here's what we're gonna do. I always start here and then I drag you guys through that walkway to get to the other spots. We're just gonna do some relaxing fishing. Because by the way, if you go trout fishing, make sure you're not tired. Because yesterday, after wading through that river in boots for what, like 3 hours? That's a private jet landing somewhere in Morristown. That you hear in the background. But after wading through the river for 3 hours in the live stream, I was dead tired. I was I'm glad because my client lets me use his Tesla to pick him up. I put it on full self-driving on the way back, and he was out, and Grumpy Orca was driving with one eye open, and full self-driving got us home. Probably shouldn't be saying that on live stream, just in case you ever want to book me as your driver. But yeah, that river fishing, I don't know what it is. Maybe the oxygen levels or whatever it was, or the frustration. But that river fishing got me down yesterday. I was sleeping like a log. All right. Let's try the good old minnow with my signature. What is it called? The cheapest one. It's the Trout magnet jig head. 64 ounce. I'll cast it in, let it drop, and I'll talk to you guys. And look, I'm using my favorite rod in the world, the Shakespeare Micro Series, just like the good old days. All right, let's sound that line out. I'm gonna let it drop so I can respond to the chat. Hey, Speedbro. Yeah. Oh, you did buy them? All right, try them. Look, try them all different ways. You can try them. You can try jigging him like a psychedelic minnow. You can just drop them and hold on. Hey, what's going on, Grumpy Orca? Grumpy Orca on the fish. Let's get him in the boat. Oh, who's that? I see good color. Good color, good presentation. Shaking the head. Oh, it's a nice, good eating size crappie. Look at that guy. Kaboosh! How's it going? I'm not gonna call you a kid because man, you're good eating size. Look at that, Grumpy Orca. I told you, there's something about this deadly combo. You put that cheap jig head on, you put that emerald gold minnow. I told you guys, just wait for me to drop it and I'll talk to you. Look down on the chat and kadoosh, we got a pretty one. All right, let's let him go. Grumpy Orca not collecting fish today. I got a good tip yesterday so we can eat. All right, let's let him go. All right, I'll catch you later, buddy. No pun intended. I know. Hey, thanks for the likes. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's why, what I was gonna say, that's why I love fishing. Like I was always, when I was a fireman, I was always in good shape. Like I wasn't light, but as my adventures slowed down, I started gaining weight. And then I became a driver 3 years ago, and I probably packed on another 20 pounds. And Grandpa Yorker just got pissed off and said, no more. And but I really didn't change much. But I did start fishing and walking out to these spots. And also, if you take yourself out of your house, you start eating less, right? And also, when I became a driver, really kind of stopped drinking because I feel like, especially if you drink those late night drinks, like a one beer or whatever, if you're older, all the kids in the chat, please don't drink, save your money. But yeah, I kind of when I became a driver, I was kind of like, well, it's not fair. I'm going to be driving somebody after drinking a beer 2 hours before, so I stopped. Fishing definitely much more addictive than drinking, I'll tell you that. But yeah, long story short, Grumpy Orca went from almost 270 pounds to now it's healthy about 220, 218. And I think I got about 20 more pounds to go. But that was all fishing, man. All right, how you doing? Is that a fish? Oh, it's a fish, boys. Look at that, Grumpy Orca. And fuego. Oh, it's a big boy crappie. Hold on, let's get him in here. Look at that. I told you. I told you. You put that gob minnow on, you put that jig head, you getting fish. And look at this spot. Everybody fishes here. So it's not like we're, in a private lake. Kadoosh. Got another one. All right. All it is that you walk into Walmart, you get you a 2.5-inch gallop minnow, you get yourself some jig heads. The lighter, the better, because the lighter the jig head, the more finesse the fish is gonna have when you jig it or when it drops. This is a little guy. All right, buddy. We'll catch you later. All right, there you go. What is that? Two fish. Rainy today? Yeah, we got two crappie. We're letting them go. I think Demon is the happiest person when I let the fish go. So, Demon, you're being too nice with that name, Demon. I thought you're gonna be the one that's eating the fish. So yeah, the only thing about Gulp minnow is like you see it's broken now a little bit because I got two fish on the same Gulp minnow. I always say I can easily get 2, 3 fish on one Gulp minnow, but 5 fish is pushing it. All right, and I'm catching them all around that weed line. So I'm going to walk you through it just in case you're new. If you want to put some fish in your cooler or go have a free dinner at home with the best fish that there is to catch in freshwater, you just eat it out there. All right, 4 pound line, close the bail, just let it drop. You 5-10 seconds, depending. Like you hear, it's probably down on the bottom already, and you just do a little slide. You saw how I just jigged it, jig. No guarantee we're gonna get a fish, but I just had a little bite. And you just slowly let it drop. Okay, we just had a fish on. That was a crappie. I saw it in the water, but he dropped it. So yeah, there you go. Where like I saw him probably 3 feet away, maybe even less from the water. So I think that this is not how you fish for crappie in the spring, but in the fall, especially if you have low oxygen conditions, you kind of need to get them excited about the fish. All right, like I said, I'm not fishing any private waters. This is literally this is where I collect all my fishing gear every Monday morning after people fish with their kids here. So let it drop, jig it a couple of times. Yeah, this one, the wind picked up, so I kind of didn't drop. So this one, almost had a fish in my last cast. And these hooks, I know that the Trout magnet hooks are not the sharpest in the world, but for crappie, they're pretty sharp. Like I probably would lose less fish if I had a Gamakatsu hook on, and we can do that later. But like I said, if you walk into Walmart with $10, buy yourself a pack of Gulp minnows with 2.5 inch in a 2.5 inch size, and buy yourself a 1/64 of an ounce jig head. You can go 1/32. It's fine. Like, we have a fish, boys. You see that? Grumpy worker, not only talking you through it, he also showing you the fish. What's going on, kid? Don't worry. On Thursdays, we don't feed on Thursdays. Come here, bud. And that's also a great way to catch a largemouth bass or smallmouth bass. They love that action of up and down. So yeah, hold on, let me get him a boat. Oh, we got surf and turf. All right. So see, not only do I tell you what I do, I also show you how I do it. Here you go. Nice crappie. All right, hold on, let's clean you up, buddy. You going back in, don't worry. All right. Okay. Ugh, that's a number 3. I know a lot of people, like somebody was telling me, I think on TikTok, that they specifically use crickets and this and that. You can use that too. It's whatever works for you. But I feel like if I'm in the car, I don't have time to go buy live bait. Like that bag of 18 gulp minnows, it'll last you as long as you know what you're doing, or at least try to do the right thing. We got 3 fish and 1 gulp minnow. All right, let me check the chat while that thing drops. Hey, Anthony, what's going on, man? No, it's not serious, but you know, I don't like to burn my hands. And some people told me my hands look like big potatoes, so grumpy orca self-conscious. It's my show. I do what I want. Oh, that's not a bass. That's a seaweed. Yeah, but I actually had these gloves for 3 years now. I really like them because they actually, they protect you from the sun. And my family members work at the cancer center. I've seen what happens with people that don't protect themselves from sun. Always wear your sunscreen. Before you send it to go, how many fish we caught? 3. Jason J. Jason J. He might be that Secret Service agent we talked about. All right, let's just jig it off the bottom. It's been sitting on the bottom for about 30 seconds while I was reading the chat. She's going to jig it. But if you're new to crappie fishing, if I came here in the spring, I would not be doing this. Hold on. I'll tell you what I'd be doing. I would put a bobber. I would put a bobber, one of these weighted bobbers. I would put it right here. Springtime when crappie is spawning, you put it about this high. You know, give yourself, you don't have to go high, like 24 inches. And cast it out, and you slow reel it without jigging. You can jig it a little bit, but really try first 10 casts, just slowly reel it over their beds, and they'll come up and they'll just munch it. But that technique for me has not worked in the fall and summer. For some reason, especially this body of water, the crappie really get active when you do actually jigging. You like the entertainment? Thanks. Yeah, we got 3 crappie so far. Oh, you see that? I'm not even doing anything. Oh, Hadouken! Got one. We're on number 4. How you doing? That's definitely a crappie. You see, I was just talking to you guys, and I did that little. I felt something tug my line. There he is. Numero cuatro. All right, how you doing, kid? What's going on? You see how light their lips are? I did set the hook a little hard on that one. You see the rip? You see that rip? That's why they call them paper lips. Crappie, you really don't want to ever set the hook like a 12-year-old kid sets a hook in a bass. Nice little fish. That's number 4. All right, how much more orca got in him? The limit in Jersey for keepers is 10 crappie a day. We limited out last week twice. So just let it drop. You might get a bite on the drop. And they just do a little tug. Let it drop again. You know, all we're doing is, remember when George Foreman fought Ali? You remember the rope a dope strategy? How Ali got him by pretending that he was out of breath, and George Foreman was just going at him. Well, we're basically pretending we're a dying fish. We're bouncing off the bottom. And Mr. Crappie is George Foreman in this scenario. And he comes and munches us, and then he loses the battle. That's the best way I can describe what I'm doing today. Thriller in Manila, right? No, was that a rumble in the jungle? Who can correct me? I think that was a rumble in the jungle. Thriller in Manila was Joe Frazier. I think. You guys can hold on. Ah, we had a fish. Hold on. No, we had a fish. We're gonna get him back. Let's run him back. See, I like this fishing much better than trout fishing. Trout fishing is basically chasing around a 2-pound bag of meat that was raised in the farm in 8 inches of water and trying to convince it that that mealworm is what it needs to eat after it saw all of its friends get pulled out and eaten 3 minutes before. So that's why we do crappie fishing. So yeah, just cast it out there, let it drop. Yeah, they are biting. Have a good one, Ezra. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for joining the chat too. I appreciate you. I'm still working. If I have any eccentric clients to extract out of New York City tonight, I will be making that Discord channel. If you guys want to talk to each other in a safer manner, sure. I'm still trying to figure out Facebook. So I have 0 followers on Facebook, but I think I made a mistake. I don't know why, but I made a commercial account. I don't know why I did that. It's not like I'm selling anything, but I posted the same videos I post on YouTube Shorts, and I reposted them. I think I got 1 like out of 20 videos, and obviously no followers. So I was just like, maybe Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like fishing. All right, let's let it drop. I should probably change to a personal account. Thanks, SB Bros. I appreciate it. It's very nice of you. All right, let's let it drop. I actually have slack line right now, but is it dropping? Let's give it a little jiggy jig. You basically just want to simulate a dying fish that's bouncing off the bottom. But yeah. If you guys want to suffer through me with me another trout fishing stream, I'll take you trout fishing next week. I think I'm all out of energy this week. I might take my little one wanted to go trout fishing with me today, but Mrs. Orca said no taking out kids early from school to go fishing. Which you know what? There's a reason she's a smarter person out of two of us. So we're just gonna listen to Mrs. Orca and not do anything. Let the kid learn. I got him a cool trout fishing book for kids at the library. I'm gonna read it with him today. All right. Let's do a couple more casts with this. I want to show you another setup I use to catch crappie and trout, and I think some of you can benefit from it. We're going to do like 3 more casts with the Gulp minnow, and then I'll show you something different. You might like it. All right. I'm trying to get to that 5 crappie. Let's let it drop. And if you're fishing without a bobber and you're new to fishing, when you just do this little, uh, well, I was going to explain, but unfortunately, I have somebody on the line. I think that's seaweed. And so what you do is you watch your line. If your line all of a sudden goes in, even the slightest, that's when you know you can try to setting the hook. Don't go setting the hook like you're trying to pull a tuna out. But I don't have a bobber, and a lot of new fishermen they get discouraged by not having a bobber. When you let it drop, you're gonna see your line sort of go into the water. You're gonna know if there's any activity on the line. The lines it makes a sail, and that sail is gonna go in. When that sail goes in, it's time to do a little try to set the hook because that's probably a fish. I thought, yeah, nice and easy. Really trying to catch that 5th fish before I set out. So show you guys how I fish a weightless minnow for crappie, or it's actually a great setup for trout because you can modulate quickly how much weight you have on your line. All right, let's let it drop. See what you guys say. 27 likes. I like that. Well, now it's 26. Somebody doesn't like me talking. Hey, what's going on? Paul. Yes, Paul, I did check the bait with a spoon. I actually made it yesterday. We were trout fishing yesterday on the stream. It was painful, man. It was like pulling teeth. The fish were in front of me. Actually, the spoon, they were basically only paying attention to anything that was like a rooster tail, but they were not eating it. My first cat. Oh, how you? Hold on, is that a fish? No, that's not a fish. My first cast yesterday with a spinner got me a 2-pound rainbow trout, first cast of the day, and then I tortured the people in the live stream for the next 2 hours by not catching trout and catching the most random tiny panfish out of Raritan River. We caught a perch, we caught like 4 or 5 sunnies. What else did we catch? I forget at this point. And we're staring at the trout in front of us and couldn't catch them. But yeah, I will make a spoon. With my we can actually use a do a make a power bait spoon on the stream like Paul told me. You know what? Let's do that. Let me do 2 more casts, which in my world means like 4 casts, and we'll make a spoon out of power bait. I think I do it right. We'll check with Paul. Is the quality of the video today much better than the trial videos yesterday? Can you guys tell me honestly? Because that's probably one of the reasons I brought you over here today. Paul is from Netherlands, I think. Okay, awesome. Yeah, that's why I felt like yesterday I was rewatching the stream, and I felt like I was watching somebody fish in Minecraft. It was just all pixels, and I was like, I can't be doing this to people and expect them to watch this. Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to get my 5th crappie. I had a bite. So this is one of those areas where maybe having a gamakatsu hook would benefit you. Okay, that's a fish. All right, coming over here, kid. We're gonna try to clear the weeds. That's why I'm playing hard. All right, that's number 5. Oh, that's a decent size. All right, so we got 5 crappie. See? All right. All right, little fish. You're getting ready to take pictures with your family in the fall, Mr. Crappie. You know, you got to take the pumpkin spice pictures for the Facebooks. You haven't done so yet. Oh, it's terrible. Okay, well, go out there. Go on Facebook, put up pictures of you with the fam. That's what everybody's doing. Uh, that guy's gonna have a strange conversation with his buddies today. Let's do one more. That was 5 crappie. That was 5 crappie on one gulp minnow. So, and that was live. So those people that say gulp minnow sometimes doesn't hold up. That's a family dinner for maybe 75 cents. No, less. 50 cents. That's what on average one gulp minnow costs. And I bet you can still catch something with it if you wacky rig it. What's going on, Rabbit? 45 to go. Bavarian Sky wants me to catch 50 fish, man. I don't want. Hold on. No. So we just landed a drop, and what we can do is I'm gonna attach a piece of power bait to uh, to my line, and I'll see if Paul approves of it. I think I still have power bait from fishing yesterday. All right, hold on. Okay, should I cast one more time? All right, last cast for the look. Paul, I'll be honest with you. I watched your video about how to make a simple carp rig. I think my brain unscrewed itself from my head and just went into another room and went to sleep because you are so much smarter than me. I would never be able to do that. That's awesome. If that's how involved carp fishing is, I might not be able to hack it, man. But that's, you know what, it looked like you put together a Lego without the instructions. It was crazy. So props to you, man. That's awesome. Oh, okay. Okay, we got to fish it. But that don't fight like crappie. Hold on. I told you it was going to be the last lucky cast. Oh, it is a, wait. Is it a crappie? Oh, let me take a good look at him. Yeah, it is a crappie. Let's put him in the boat. All right, that's 6 crappie and 1 gulp minnow. How you doing, kids? Grumpy Orca on fire today. All right, I don't want to keep you here for too long, fish, because they'll probably take your ear off. All right, nice pretty fish. Look at this. Number 6. Have a good one. All right. So we caught some crappie. I've been doing the same thing. I caught them all with 1 gulp minnow. So if anybody ever fights with me in the comments on my YouTube shorts and my videos, I'll just direct them to this live video to show them that I was able to pull. I mean, honestly, can still keep doing it. Look, it's only beat up on the top. It's really not that bad. I'm actually going to put it back in the bag. And these are the gulp minnows I used in case you don't want to talk to me in the chat, but still want to catch fish. 2.5 inch Amarillo Shiner. They're like $8. Sometimes Amazon puts them on sale for $5, $6. There, you can get a bag of these. There's 18 of them in the bag. We caught 6 fish with 1. I mean, it's a better alternative than buying live bait and having it die in your fridge if you don't go fishing. You can keep these in your car in the glove box. Just don't spill the liquid. All right, hold on. I'm looking for yes, here we go. Paul's gonna get excited. Here you go. How about this? Let's try and make a spoon. Hold on. Uh, Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna disappear from the chat for 1 second because my wife has a small emergency. I gotta send her a picture. Stay in the chat. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Fungi, you asking me? We're not in the city. We're in a lake, but we are in New Jersey. I don't want to give you the city just in case you want to come and assassinate me. But we can always fish together if you want. That's a better alternative. All right. You know what's awesome is you can search. My wife just asked me for a license plate number, and I didn't know the license plate number. I went to my iPhone photos, and I just searched a red car, and it pulled up a picture of my wife's car in 2 seconds, and I was able to find the license plate. That's pretty awesome. I know it's people probably been doing this for 10 years, but I just figured that out. All right, Paul. So we'll make spoon, like baby spoon, and then we go with power bait. I'm not a power bait user, but Paul might have converted me. And we slowly shape it, and two sides, we kind of make them like these little ridges, right? So you basically create like, almost create like a, I don't know if you have kids, but it's like, it look like Gerber baby spoon. But you definitely don't want to give this to your baby. All right. So what it does in the water, it gives it like that, it gives it that spinning motion like a spinner. Paul, did I do this right? Let's try it. But this is how we caught that second trout on the live stream. And I think we caught the third one on power bait too. Oh, it doesn't fly very far, but I don't have the best. If I had 2 pound line, I'd probably go further. So we're just going to slowly reel it like a spinner. It doesn't spin. This one doesn't spin. Maybe I didn't put it together right, but it gives you the idea. If you guys go try, apparently Europeans really love using this method. I haven't found any about it. But you basically shape your power bait like a spoon, and hopefully you can see the hook inside of it. And you basically pull it through the water, imitate like it becomes like a spinner. I said that about 15 times. I'll stop doing that. Hmm. Hold on. You can bend the sides a little like a screw. Oh, okay. I see. You know what I think I should do? We're just having fun here at this point. Hope I'm not boring everybody to death. I'll do what Paul says. I need to put a little bit more. My fingers are so fat that my, my fingers are specifically designed to dig out frozen potatoes in the middle of Eastern European winter. So it's just kind of hard, you know. But I'm gonna do what Paul says. Hold on. You can bend the sides a little like a screw. So the flat side looks like an S. Okay, got it. That might be a little hard, man. Just for me. I'm sure for everybody else it might be, but I'm a slow learner. Let's try it. Like I said, I actually never fished with power bait, but it's interesting. It's always good to try something new. Okay, I think I got a better spoon going this time. Okay. Oh, look, flies here. I mean, that's how good the power bait smells. All right, let's try it. Is this like that? What do you think, Paul? No bueno? Like this? Okay. I mean, hold on. I'm trying it. I actually didn't find like a particularly good video how to do this. Look at all the flies. So you know what power bait smells like. You know what it smells like, right? It's what I smell like too right now because I have it all over me. Okay. All right. Feel like I'm a 5-year-old in a Play-Doh class. I like this. All right, let's try this. At this point, it looks like a Costco chicken. Maybe I'm just hungry. Let's try it. Oh, it doesn't fly far, unfortunately. I don't know why. Just gonna let it drop to the bottom. Of course, we have a fish. I see my. Jeez, Paul. Paul, the local genius. Look at him. How you doing, kids? Who is that? Who's that coming up? Oh my God, Paul, you just that boy thick. Look at him, Paul. I gotta give it to you. You know what you're doing, man. Look at this guy. That's number 7. Man, this guy's miss a meal for sure. Look at him. Stop. He's look. This guy chunky. All right, good job, Paul. You putting out some fish, man. All right, we'll catch you later, buddy. Yeah, you make that tutorial and I'll share it in my video. How you doing, Bubba's? What they call me? Okay, I know they call you Bubba's now. What's going on, Ezra Show? Try to make spoon a little smaller. All right, that's right. All right, we're learning new things. So yeah, I've never heard of people making spoons out of, but I'm not a power bait fisherman. But that guy, like, he must have lost it in the water because that guy just ate it on a drop. I usually never catch this much fish at this spot. This is where everybody comes to fish with a bucket and a bobber, and I am not hating on that. I'm just saying it's not rare to see like 4 or 5 guys here during the weekend. Okay, we make the spoon smaller. Hold on. The only issue I'm having with it, it doesn't fly far, but that's my problem. I'm sure if I was using a 2 pound line, it'd fly further. After this, I'll show you 2 things that I found on the bank that I threw in my backpack today. And we're going to do some bass fishing because one of them is a pretty interesting bass worm. And we might get lucky, you never know. Look, it is spoon. I make baby spoon today. Other people go to work, have problems, have nice cars. I'm making spoon out of power bait on live stream. Hope my mom doesn't see this. What do you think, Paul? Hmm. You got to make a tutorial for me. This way, I'm a visual learner. I got to see something to do it. I've only, yeah, the viewers have been dropping a little bit. I usually, sometimes I'll top out around 200, but I'm not catching fish. We're basically making power bait circles. So I guess that's why. You know what? You want to hear something crazy? I was cleaning crappie on one of my, just for fun, last week. I had 400 people at some point watching my live stream. I didn't know people were that much into cleaning fish. Okay, good. Yeah, definitely make that tutorial, man, because I feel like you're gonna get a lot of American viewers watching it. I'll definitely make a short. Even though you have my shorts, I only get they only give me. I used to get some. I'm just gonna let it drop. Hold it through the water column. All right, hold on. I used to get a lot of views for my shorts. I used to get like a couple thousand after my channel got 300-400 subscribers. But I feel like YouTube has an algorithm where if you get a lot of people in your live, or you're just generally getting more views than before, they'll throttle your shorts. Nowadays, my shorts only get like 700-800 views. I do get a lot of likes. And I'll tell you what, if you make shorts, how do you know if you're a small creator? Do you know how you know you have a decent short on fishing? If you have more than 10 likes under 1,000 views, that's a good thing to go by. Whenever I would make a short and I would get like 3-4 likes out of 1,000 views, I knew that short was dead. But if you get 15 out of 1,000 when you're new, you're golden. That thing's gonna blow up. That just means that 1 out of 100 people that YouTube pushed your short to liked it. Oh, you can also just jig it a little bit. Nice. All right, let's cast it in again. That was funny. Paul basically told us to make a spoon. We threw it in, and we had a fish on the first cast. That was awesome, man. One day I'll have enough patience for you to teach me how to carp fish. There are a lot of places to fish for carp in Jersey, and the American anglers do not target it. It's either going to be Eastern European guys or the people of the Asian descent. Huh. What's interesting though, did you see how we caught all that fish with the gulp minnow? All right, came off. I'm sorry, guys. We caught all that fish on gulp minnow, all the crappie biting gulp minnow, and as soon as we threw in power bait, the bluegill ate it. Let's throw a rooster tail a couple of times, or a spinner. This is actually a map spinner that we used yesterday on the live stream. Not that expensive. I think it's like $4. How you doing, Samuel? Oh, Tom, you're almost at 50? Nice. Good job, man. Like I said, just make sure you follow YouTube rules. Uh, I'm not asking anybody their age, but just letting you know, I tell everybody how my kid got his, um, he actually killed my main email. So I've been fighting with Google to get it back. I should get it back this week. When YouTube wipes out your account, they will also wipe out the email that's associated to the account. You've been warned. Like I said, my kid had his little brother in. I think he was doing basketball practice on the live stream, and he can live stream at his age. But he had his little brother in the background, like just running around, and YouTube banned his account. And I agree with that because I understand that people get angry, but maybe it's not good that little kids are out there on YouTube. There's a lot of weirdos out there. So you can live stream when you're 13. If you're younger, you have an adult, I think, in the background. So me and him would play basketball sometimes on his live stream, and he totally smoked me. Ugh. Yeah, so see, spinner top water is not getting much action today. It's all dropping into the bottom and jigging it. So I know there's a ton of bass there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rig up this. I'll show you the worm I found on the bank. It's an interesting setup for those of you that are bass fishermen. All right, I threw it somewhere in my hoodie as I was walking out of the house. So yeah, I found this just laying on the bank, attached to some line. There's an interesting carabiner that holds it, which I've never seen before. So I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to put some line through it, make it weedless, and just yeet it out there. What do you guys think? Maybe we'll get something? And then we'll go back to, hold on. I think this is actually an Ozark trail worm, which doesn't give me much hope, but whatever. I have this rod. I brought this Shakespeare Light Pro rod, and we'll try it. Mr. Frog hasn't been very good for me. Never caught a fish on this one. But definitely looks funny. Yeah, if you have 49, let me know. I have a secondary YouTube account, and I'll give you a sub just to get you to that 50. But I said, please be careful, and you don't have to post silly stuff. Just be yourself. I last video I saw you caught a bunch of mackerel. Wait, what did you catch? Did you catch Spanish mackerel? I think that was your channel. Just gonna tie it directly to the line. But what people don't realize when they're younger, when you make a YouTube account, you don't have to make your videos public. You can just create memories and they just stay there forever. I still have videos of me and my buddies during my bachelor party. We went, we didn't do anything what people usually do in the United States. We actually went go-kart racing. I used to be really into cars. And that video has been on YouTube for the past 15 years for free. And I can watch it from any point of the anywhere in the world. All right, so we have like a 8-pound line here, I think. Not very much. And I have that worm, this worm that I found. It was exactly a rig like this. I just found it on the bank. Let's try it. You never know. It's a little weighted, but okay. And I cast it right at a good spot. That's kind of right where the bass is, but right by that weed line. So we're just gonna let it sit there for a little bit, and just gonna jig it and slowly reel the slack. I think I'm boring people out of their mind. Don't have as many people on the live stream today. But as long as the quality is good and as long as the regulars are here, makes me happy. You know what? Let me change the spot a little bit. There's a spot right here that I like. That's where I pulled in the 5-pounder. Oh, nice. Hey, what's going on, Foxes? Hello from Kazakhstan, Astana. Uh, do you know Almaty? My first girlfriend was from Almaty, the capital city of Kazakhstan. No joke. We're not making any board jokes today. Yeah, she was a great, great person. The only problem was we were kind of the same people. She was distracted and I was distracted, and we were like, we're not gonna be able to go forward with this. We're like two squirrels living together. But she was good people. She was definitely from Kazakhstan. Her dad had a textile factory there. All right, let's let it drop. That's exactly where I caught my 5-pounder. So maybe he remembers me. That's exactly the reel I was using, different rod. I think the seaweed's dying off a little bit. I'm not getting snagged. All right. Yeah, the stick that I used to get in there and land that 5-pounder is still sitting there. All right, let me. Small world, right? Let me print, Paul. I'm gonna print screen what you told me about the trout, 3 mealworms and a spinner. That sounds fair. Yeah, foxes. Kazakhstan, don't you guys have a lot of those rocket launching pads that Russia uses to launch all their big rockets? It's in Kazakhstan, right? What I know is that what Soviets did in the 40s, they moved a lot of like native Russians to Kazakhstan and um, and Ukrainians to like build a huge aerospace industry. Basically, how the way they launch rockets out of Florida here, Kazakhstan is that for Soviet Union because I believe they're the closest to the equator, and that's the reason they do it. All right, hold on, let it drop. Beautiful day to be out fishing. If you guys can get out there this week, please do. Oh, I feel like I had a little bite. I don't know about fishing with the weighted worm. I think people like the natural drop of the Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, but bass fishing here is tough. There's like, it's very pressured fish in this water. Everybody goes bass fishing here. People always blow up the spot on fish brain for bass. Oh, 72 people got refilled. Hey, what's going on, Jack the Pumpkin? We're fishing for everything. We just caught six. Wait, how many crappie did we catch? Six or five? I forgot. Yeah, we did six crappie. We caught a bluegill on power bait randomly, and we're trying to get a bass real quick. If we get no bites in the next couple of casts, we're gonna go back to pan fishing. I was just teaching people how I pan fish for crappie with gulp minnow. Yeah, but bass fishing is tough. It's very tough for me because I'm not very good at it, but I've had my luck sometimes, especially on the stream. But sometimes you can sit there for, I know sometimes guys go out bass fishing for 6 hours and they'll catch one fish. That doesn't make for good live stream, especially if you're mediocre at bass fishing. All right, let me try cast it there. I'm just using it, like I said, you can buy this rod at, I don't particularly recommend it. It's a Shakespeare Ugly Right Light Pro, so it's a like a nice version of a Shakespeare rod. It's a medium action rod. Uh, I do like my Abu Garcia Cardinal 400 better. This one has a very soft tip. It does bend through the whole, almost through the whole blank. So it's probably really fun to fight a bass on this rod. Hmm. Paul, I was going to ask you if you're still in the chat. How long? Um, how long till you can go? What times of the year are the best for carp fishing? Yeah, so we do have a couple of mealworms. I can just cast it out for fun. You want to go to USA? You playing the green card? Nice. Yeah, Fox, it's not easy, man. It's not going to be easy right now. They made it pretty like if you're a skilled worker. My buddy is a very skilled oil and gas operate. He does oil and gas operations, but it's a hot topic because there's like my industry. I'm just a driver, but a lot of guys that came here after war, they really destroyed the driving industry. Still a lot of clients for me, but I understand and I don't understand. It's kind of hard when you don't have enough money to pay your bills. But what they do is they came here and they all became Uber drivers, and they sleep in their cars while they don't have families with them, and they take all our jobs basically. So there's two sides of a coin. But yeah, keep playing the green card lottery. You never know. Um, one of my friends got lucky a long time ago. He came here with a on the green card, and he works. He's a city worker in New York City now. He does a job not a lot of people want to do. Let's put it that way. But he's an engineer, and he makes good money. And his wife also works on a city job. All right, let me stop talking and catch you guys a fish. You nearly caught a trout. Nice. You're fishing right now. Nice. Okay, Fallon. That's awesome. What are you fishing for? Yeah, Foxes, don't give up. You're gonna win that. You just keep applying. You got to apply it every year, from what I remember. All right. I still see braid here. It's amazing. Like, so this is how it is. You just come in, you see what people like, just braid everywhere. Should we try fishing with a mealworm? Just for funsies. I can probably fish for another hour or so, so let's have fun, guys. Oh, you know what else I want to try? I do have a cool spinner. I do have a cool spinner that I found, and I was going to try that. It's a little heavy for this rod. Let's try it real quick. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. Hold on. Let me throw the frog in here. My glove Coleman backpack. Hold on. Throw it in my. Let me show you what I have. Maybe you guys will appreciate it. Maybe we can catch a bass in that. This is what I have. You guys think we can catch anything on this? It's like that underspin. People love this for bass. And I stuck this thing on it that I had. So if you guys want, we can try this. I can actually probably tie this directly to the line. You guys want to try this? Let's see what you say. You're fishing for bass? Nice. You love fishing, Fox? Like I said, man, keep trying. All right, let me ask the chat. I'm gonna talk to my chat now, Fox. Give me a sec. Start a poll. Uh, pan fishing or bass fishing today? Let me ask people. I'm trying this whole new poll now. Hold on. Uh, Granddads are good for bass. What do you mean by that? I don't know what granddads is. That's kind of like we don't have that terminology for bass fishing in Jersey, but I'm eager to learn. All right, let's throw this guy on just for funsies. I'm gonna tie him directly to the line. At this point, doesn't really matter. Usually I have a snap swivel, but I'm just doing a clinch knot. Clinch knot the only knot I really use to tie my stuff on, unless I'm tying the braid together with the computer. Thanks for the likes, guys. If you don't know how to like, you just double tap the screen. Okay, and we're ready to fish. Hold on. Let me cut off that end. Let me hide the worm. Let's eat this guy out. Last time I caught a perch on one of these. The only problem is we're probably gonna pick up like 3 pounds of seaweed. Let me fix the phone. Try to get it up before the seaweed. Has anybody caught anything on one of these things? I know it used to be very popular for bass. Crawdads are great for bass fishing. If you're willing to sit there and wait, they'll definitely come and eat it. Crawdads they love it. Even in this pond, I have a fake crawdad that I caught 2 bass on one day a couple of years ago. Ooh, is that a bald eagle or is that a turkey vulture? No, it's a turkey vulture. I don't want to get you guys excited. Looks good in the water, but like I said, I've never caught a bass on one of these. I think I definitely caught a perch on one of these. Let's do a couple more casts, and we'll go change the spot and we'll do some pan fishing. I might catch a random rogue largemouth bass. We'll go up minnows. Well, that was far. So you gotta be careful when you cast these because if you do lock your barrel by accident like I do sometimes, that's the last time you're gonna see that lure. Let it drop a little bit. Hopefully not catch my seaweed. I always want to get that crazy bite that they have on YouTube videos on it, but it never happens. All right, last cast with this thing for real. The bass is just kind of slow. Definitely not biting today. All right, let's do one more cast. Just gonna throw it right in front of me. Let it drop for a couple of seconds. All right, let's walk over to a new spot. I'll talk to you guys while I walk. We'll do some. I'll set up a gamakatsu hook with a weightless for you. I'll show you how I do it. Hopefully that entertains somebody. Yeah, take a picture of your fishing rod. Hey, what's going on, Grumpy Bass? Uh, the spinning. I'm not sure what you mean by how many casts, Fallon. We're spinning. Like I said, I've never caught a bass on this thing, but I found it on the bank. We tried it. It didn't work, but we'll try it again later. Let's go change the spot. I'll show you guys if you're going to be going out trout fishing. I'll show you one of my favorite rigs real quick. We'll rig on a Daiwa Presso. Maybe that'll help somebody because it's a great way to modulate your weight on your line. It's super simple too. But yeah, bass fishing usually unsuccessful for me. That doesn't mean we can't keep trying a new spot. This is which country? The country of New Jersey, the land of Snooki, Sopranos, and questionable mortgage loans, if you know what I mean. Uh, yeah, we're gonna walk with you. If you guys want to walk with me, it's gonna be probably like what 3-4 minutes usually takes us to move to a different spot, and we're gonna fish with a ultralight presso, and I'll rig it with a size 8 Gamakatsu hook, and I'll put a little split shot weight up top, and we'll see what happens. We might even break out the Snooki today, dude. I'm telling you, I've been making fun of her so long that she might pop me. Her and Paulie. But like I always say, I'm easy to find. Come get. I got the pen. I also have a pack of gummy worms. This is definitely going to put our European viewers into a coma. Nothing like watching the American fishing stream and the dude is fishing with gummy worms. Oh no, gummy bears. Even better. How's it going, Grumpy Bass? I like your channel, man. All right, we're almost there. Enjoy the views. GCP, if you're listening, I don't know if you joined that group on Facebook, the Save the Raritan River, but some dudes go out together fishing there and they fish the Raritan and they get some ginormous smallmouth. Like some of those smallmouth are 5-6 pounds. And if you ask me, it's my personal opinion, I think smallmouth looks prettier than a largemouth and fights harder. But that is my personal opinion. I'd rather catch a gigantic smallmouth and fight it in the river. How you doing, Abdul? I really want to put in a kayak in Red River and just somehow just go down the river for about 10 miles and have somebody scoop me up. This way I don't have to go back. I saw you struggle in the currents there with your kayak. How you doing, Basil? Tom, I'll check out your rod setup once I'm done streaming today. I was just watching this guy on Facebook, Hood Fishing, and I know people have opinions about him, but you got to respect the guy. He started fishing in the Hood, and I saw him on the salmon fishing boat in Alaska. And man, that's even if people don't like him, you can't hate on that progress. Somebody invited him out, so props to that fishing boat that took him on and showed him how to fish for salmon in Alaska. That's like a dream trip. Oh, you like fishing videos? Nice. I appreciate you, man. No, I'm not finishing all. We're going to a new spot. We're going to go get us some crappie. And that spot never produces for me. Yeah, we're just changing spots. The next spot I get you to, we're going to be staying there for a while. We can probably fish for an hour or so. But you never know. Grumpy Orca might say an hour. He might sit there for an hour and 30 minutes. And then Mrs. Orca is going to not be happy he didn't do his chores for the day. Let's see. I got to power wash a bunch of stuff outside today before it gets cold. That's a good spot right there, but we're going to keep going. It's not active. Well, the fish is usually much more active in the morning, but we caught a bunch of crappie as soon as we came in, so we're fishing. It's noontime right now. You know, fish sometimes like women, never know what he wants. I'm just kidding. Sometimes they bite in the morning, sometimes they bite in the afternoon, sometimes they want you to take them to Dubai, and sometimes they bite during lunch. Hold on. Give me a sec. All right. Let's actually maybe they did that on purpose. Let's try this map spinner one time before I change this rod out to a gamakatsu hook. What the hell is that? I can't take any more scary squirrels in my live streams. Last time they tried to get me with some sort of a nut from a tree. Let's try the spinner. Oh, hold on. Is this fish or is this seaweed? No, seaweed. All right, hold on. I'm gonna cast this out one more time. We're using a Daiwa Pressa Ultralight. I really starting to like this rod a lot. This would be awesome out of a kayak. It doesn't have a very sensitive tip, but overall it just has that bend. Hold on. All right, I think that's a sign for us to change it to a little split shot weight on a gamakatsu hook. Look what it's doing. It's a little windy today. Hold on. Let me get comfortable for once. All right. 40 people in the chat. Everybody left. Nobody wants to fish with us. Okay, Tom, you gotta go. Gotta run. Yeah, not a suitcase this time around, right? Thanks for chilling with us, Tom. We'll see you on the next one, man. Don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but you never know. So I'm just gonna take off this maps, and I'll throw it in the Super Mario thing. Say hello to Snooki, just in case you guys missed her. She's right there, being big and kind of useless. But we're not gonna use her today. We're just gonna put on I see a gamakatsu hook somewhere there. Yeah, I see those red gamakatsu hooks. All right, give me a sec. Jeez. All right. Mm. All right. So, it's a piece of seaweed in my mouth. Size 8 hook. Give it a little spinny spin. By the way, if you don't know this, the line I'm using is a 4-pound. It's a cheap line, but it's a great line. It's a 4-pound Yuzuri hybrid. It's a hybrid between mono and flora, and it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep this on my reel for a long time now. 1 second. All right, so I just rigged up a simple size 8 hook, and I'm just gonna throw a split shot weight on it. Give me a second. Yeah, Mario's here. Bye once again. Bye, Tom. Yeah, Mario has been located. All right. So I'm just gonna use a 1. I forgot the weight of these. It says size 3. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm gonna say this like maybe it's less than 1/64 of an ounce, I think. So what I do is I just, if you go trout fishing and you bring a couple of these, if the water in the river is pretty fast moving and is deep, use more than one. But you can start with one and see if it's taking you too far. You can always add another one. Sometimes you can go up as high as three. I found river and line in the river that people had four of them on. I mean, four is a little much. I don't know what you're trying to fish for, but use whatever works for you. But basically, if you go trout fishing and you want a simple setup, especially if you go fishing with a kid and you want to just keep changing it up as the conditions change, just put a split shot right above your hook. And if it's drifting too fast, just add another split shot. All right, now what are we going to throw on? Let's throw on a gulp minnow first, and I'll show you that setup. Sorry, guys, it's a little windy today. Let's put Super Mario back in the pocket. I love this guy. It's a Mario. All right, we're going to throw an emerald shiner first. All right, who's betting there's going to be a fish in the first cast? Something just came down. All right, so you can totally rig a gulp minnow just on a hook. And this is the way I do it. You just feed it right through the head. And if you go a little deeper than usual, now you can hide the hook head. See? Now you got yourself a nice little gulp minnow. You don't see anything else. You just see the fish. I think it's the gulp minnow we were just using. So hold on, let me fix that real quick. I think it's the same gulp minnow we just caught 6 fish on. All right, so we put it through the belly. That's it. All right. So we got the ultralight rod, itty bitty weight, size 8 hook. And let's see what happens. Just eat it out there. Oh, it flies, man. That thing flew. So we just let it drop slowly in the water column. Just don't do anything. Just let it drop. I've never seen waves like these here. It's just dropping. We're not doing anything. Now I'm going to pick up the slack a little bit. I'm just going to give it a little jig. It's almost like having a jig head, but it gives it a little bit more fluidity, especially around the weeds. And you can float it more on top of water. And that way you can get a nice bass bite. Like I just dropped it between those weeds. Wow, it's windy. Hope you guys are not getting beaten up in the chat. Let's cast it out again. The wind's definitely not helping me right now, but hold on. Wow. Just letting it drop. So for trout fishing, I like this better than a jig head, but both setups work. Just jig it off the bottom. That's not a fish. That is seaweed. But yeah, that's all we're working with. Nice little gulp minnow with a little split shot. Let me cast it out where I think the fish might be. Jeez. Hold on. Well, I'm just going to cast it straight right now because the wind is absolutely crazy. It's picking up for sure. Hold on. I don't think I'm going to crack 100 legs today for sure. It's interesting. I wonder if time of the day also matters. Let's check. I'm trying to cast that way, but it's just casting right into the wind. I'm going to burn that's my rod. All right, I did a little better. I'm going to let it drop now. So just let it drop for the first 5 seconds or so. This wind is absolutely nuts. I don't know where it came from. As soon as we switch spots. Hmm. I'm gonna cast one more time. We'll change the spot. If there was fish there, I'd probably bite it already. Hold on. Yeah, that's a good spot right there. I like that. 60 likes. I wonder if YouTube's gonna. We had a bite. Hold on. Let's let it drop. I wonder if YouTube's gonna throttle my live views. But that's fine. Either way, I get to fish. So I did notice that when I told you guys when I catfish, I get I don't get the same amount of views as I do when I go pan fishing. Alright, we're just gonna let it drop again. This wind is really killing my confidence here. Just give it a slight jig. You want to just pop it off the bottom and kind of slowly reel it through the seaweed. No, the bite died off. Let's change the spot real quick. Maybe I'll have a better opportunity to cast into the wind there. 20 seconds tops, maybe less. Yeah, we're just gonna move a little bit. Thanks for the likes. It's nice of you. All right, I'm feeling my mojo here, and the wind died off. Let's try it before it picks up again. All right. Let that drop to the bottom and slowly reel it back. Hmm. I'm gonna cast it out there and check the chat. Hold on. I'm just gonna let it drop. How you doing, Flexi? All right, we're at 70 now. All right, for those people trickling into the chat, we're just ultralight fishing and trying to catch a crappie or a bluegill right now. Hold on. I do feel like getting little bites, but is that a wind or not? If I catch nothing in the next 10 minutes, I do declare I'm going to be using mealworms just for fun. I'm just going to ask again the regulars, is the quality of the stream much better today than yesterday overall in terms of just video quality, not me complaining? How you doing, Carl Lauer 20? Very strange. I was expecting much, much more aggressive bites. Grumpy Orca was wrong. We should have stayed at the same spot where we're catching crappie left and right. Once you run into a nest of crappie, you can keep fishing them. A school of crappie, I should say. I'm good. What kind of cars you like? I'm just James Hill. I'm just using Gulp minnow with a size 8 Gamakatsu hook and a little split shot on top. This is actually a great trout fishing setup for stock trout. Give them a couple of days after stocking, and they'll. This setup can be absolutely fire. And if it doesn't work, just take the Gulp minnow off the hook and throw a mealworm on. Car lover, what's your favorite cars, man? I used to be really into cars. I owned a bunch. Anything from little Miatas to pickup trucks and Oh, we gotta hold on. We had a bite. Ah, man, that was definitely a crappie. I missed it. We had a bite. That was definitely a fish. Hold on. Used to be heavy into cars. I still sell motorcycle and car parts here and there for whatever I have left. All right, hold on. We had a bite right there. I'm gonna let it drop again. What I have now? Oh, you got a STI. Those are great cars. They always have issues though with the JB. What is it? JB 25. What's the engine code? My buddy has the STI. I'm very cheap, so I picked up $1,000 Mini Clubman S on Facebook. It's a 2008. It's a six-speed. It has a terrible French engine, but it was a really well-maintained car, and it burned the valve. So I picked it up for cheap. It had beautiful wheels on it. Like the guy really took care of it. It wasn't like it wasn't abused at all. And for me, that's enough for me and my two kids. We took it fishing and everything. So yeah, I picked it up for $1,000. It needed a new head. It still has score in the cylinder walls, but I keep driving it. It probably has another 15,000 miles left in that engine. It's a six-speed. It's fun. It gets about 30 miles to the gallon. It's decent on the highway. That's my car right now. I think all in I'm about 4,000 into that car. I just really wish it wasn't eating a quart of oil every 300 miles. But I used to have everything. Yeah, well, Mini is probably one of also the most fun cars that I've had in a while. I had I had some M cars, and they're just too fast. I had a Corvette C6 with a Z51 package back when I was slaving away for 6 days a week. Never drove that thing. Usually what I used to do is if I had some extra money, I if I found a great deal on the car, I would buy it because I knew I wouldn't lose money on it, and I just keep it for a couple of years. If I didn't drive it, I just sell it. So yeah, the C6 was great, but it was a six-speed Z51. Yeah, wasn't great for the street. Always found myself breaking laws in it, so I sold it. I'm happy in the Miata. I'm a simple guy, but yeah, Mini's cool. I like it. Yeah, Demon. I had one Corvette and I had three Porsches when I was young. I used to work my butt off. Like I said, now I'm just chilling and fishing. I'm catching up on life. I could care less about those cars. I know people go crazy about them, and I'm definitely not making it up. I had a couple of M cars, the BMW M, and nowadays, they're cool. But I feel like here's the problem: if you're properly going to use those cars, 99% of Corvette owners don't know how to drive them. You got to do track days. I used to do autocross with a club. Uh, like 99% of the Corvettes on the street that you see, people have no idea how to drive that car fast. They'll show up to a track event, and a guy in a 100 horsepower Miata is just going to run laps around them. And if you want to have fun on the street with them, you really got to break laws. So unless you want people to say, "Wow, you got a cool car, man," I don't need that attention. I don't like that stuff. I just buy cars because they're fun to drive. So yeah, Corvette not fun for the street for me. And my kid actually didn't like when I picked him up in school with it. If I was taking it home from work, he was like, "Dad, I don't like that. Can you not pick me up in a Corvette? You're gonna be like a typical baby boomer." No, I never had a Porsche. Jason J. No, I am definitely not a bowler. I just worked my ass off a lot, and I realized that's not how to live your life just to get material possessions. Definitely not a bowler, homie. Used to be maybe. Uh, All the Porsches I had were cheap. Boxsters are nice. They're popping in price a lot because people use them for spec Boxster racing. I used to part out cars as a side income too. I parted out a Porsche 944 in my garage. I cut it up. I used to make money on the side that way. But yeah, Porsche Boxsters are cool. Watch out for the rear main seal leak. You're definitely gonna watch out for that. Not getting much action. Let's see if we can move a little bit. But yeah, you want to get an S, and the ones from like 2008, 2009 are probably best buy for your money. Make sure you get an S though. Don't get a regular Boxster. They're definitely gonna hold their value. Oh, nice. Toyota Starlet, car lover. That's awesome, man. Um, that's awesome. You know what I had to kill a car used to kill it in autocross? I had an MR2. It was a 1986 MR2, and it had an engine swap. It had a what was the thing? It was 2ZZ. It's that 2.0 from the Celica GTS. It's the same motor that they put in the Lotus Elise GT. I bought it in Sacramento, and that thing would absolutely murder people in autocross. That car is almost as old as I am. I sold that car 2 years ago. Actually, it was owned by an autocross instructor. Then he sold it back to me. I just couldn't drive it around too much. Like I said, same problem. I don't have time. I have kids at home. And right now I have a Miata. It used to be a turbo. I blew a hole in the block with it because one of my injectors was running lean. So I blew a hole in the block that's about this big, and I still drove it home for half a mile with no oil in it, and my kid inside of it with smoke inside. But that's just grumpy work away because I didn't want to deal with the cops. I don't think I had insurance on it. I just took it out of the garage to like drive around for a little bit, and yeah, once the cars sit, you got to make sure the fueling systems are always working properly. You'll blow a hole in your block in 2 seconds. All right, enough with cars. Let me see if I can catch you a fish. Let's keep moving. But yeah, cars used to be a big thing for me. That's all I did in college. Never went to a college party, just cars, cars, cars. We raced at the what else? The Giants Stadium used to have autocross, and I really tried to get on a Rogers FSA team, but I guess I was not smart enough for that. Well, we're talking about 20 years from ago, even more. I remember when minis first came about, they were really pushing that R53 platform to beat the Miata. And I actually had a couple of minis, the supercharged ones. They can be quite reliable until you need to get work done on them. Very expensive, even if you know what you're doing. My last mini was a supercharged, convertible, supercharged 6-speed. Bought it for $500 from somebody that didn't know what was wrong with it. Fixed it for about $100. It just needed they have a coolant leak from the tank, and I drove that thing for 25,000 miles. Should have never sold it, but it needed a clutch. I got rid of it on Facebook. What's going on, Gorilla? Yeah, Demon. I think in Poland the cheapest Porsches you're gonna have right now are probably Boxsters, and I don't know if the people are still into Porsche 944s, but that's what I used to have. I always made a point to buy a car that I could always later sell for kind of what I bought it for. That's why I was able to get nicer cars and I kind of worked on them myself. Rarely would I take my car to a mechanic. That's why I sold the Mini because it needed a clutch job. That was a $2,000 job that the car needed, and that wasn't going to work out for me. Hold on, I almost had a bite. I don't know how we switched from fishing to cars, but haven't had a bite. Hey, hi, Ken, and hi, Ollie. We're fishing for crappie. We had a really good start, and now we slow down. I'm sorry, but I hope I'm not boring you guys to death. We started strong. We had them in the first half, but now looks like Grand Piorca and the crew is we caught 7 fish within 45 minutes, I think, probably less, and people will confirm that. But now we're struggling, and I mean we're struggling really. Demon, I think there's a Cayenne that has a Porsche VR6 engine. I don't know how rare those are in Poland, but actually that's the Cayenne I would get because VR6. So I have a Eurovan, which a lot of people don't even know what that is in the United States. I have a Eurovan with a VR6 engine. It has 423,000 miles on it. No joke. I did say it's 423,000 miles on it, and yeah, its original engine still runs great. It's a second transmission though. That's my fishing van. It's a little rusty, but it works. Starts up every time. Oh, nice. How you doing, Juice Train? You in Netherlands, you have you drive in the water, use a propeller and continuous. But wait, is that like a thing, or is that like I've seen those things, but do people actually own those as like regular vehicles in Netherlands? I mean, I would want to drive up in my car to a lake and just go fishing in it with a car. That's pretty. That's a good idea. All right, hold on. Ah, man, I think that was a fish. Here's what we're gonna do. If we get no bites in Gulf Minnow, you know that's a problem, guys. But what's interesting is that we stopped getting bites as soon as I put that split shot above it. Maybe that was a bad move. Let's do one more cast and we'll switch up. I don't know why I'm getting no bites. We're absolutely killing it in the beginning. It was just non-stop fishing. I wonder if the crappie went deep or they're just not here. I mean, I'll catch you a bluegill in 2 seconds. Let me see. Let's pull this out. Oop. There much. We also have big. Wow, Paul, you're like blowing my mind, man. I've seen a bus that drives into the water in Montreal, Canada, but that was like a tourist attraction. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I actually never thought that was like mainstream. I thought that was just for like YouTube views. I never knew there was like a car you can buy and just drive into a lake or just go somewhere. That's smart too. No, seriously, I've been on this earth 40 plus years and I never heard of that. I thought it was more like a tourist attraction thing. See, that's what beauty of fishing is. You learn more new things every day when you go live stream. All right, let's throw this emerald shiner back in. It's interesting how today is completely different from yesterday. It started off super good, and now we're struggling. All right, let's see what we got in the bag. And we also caught that bluegill on a power bait randomly. Hold on, let me get some water. All right, mealworm or red worm? What do you guys want to use? How about this? Let's go with red worm just for fun, like a little kid. And if that doesn't work, we'll fish with a mealworm. Just throw them here. I'm going to say we're going to have a bluegill. And if we don't have a bluegill, that is a problem. Let's try it just for fun. I'll probably just cast this in and wait and use another rod. I'm going to read the chat. Meanwhile, how you doing, Gorilla? That's awesome, Paul. I've never been to. Nothing's on the stringer today. We let all the fish go. We started off really strong, but now we're struggling. We had 6 crappie. We had a bluegill all within the first 40 minutes, and now we're just sucking wind. Hold on. I mean, it's so bad. Grumpy workers fishing with a worm just for fun. All right, hold on. Let me think about something. You know what we can do? Hold on. I always wanted to go to Amsterdam, but I'm always like afraid of all the touristy stuff there. I don't like that stuff. I have zero interest in, but I know it's a beautiful, beautiful city. Next thing you know, I'm gonna get a. Here's what I'll do. I'll just cast this and let it sit, and I'll use another rod with a jig head for some. We'll try striking a lightning shad. Might get a crappie on it. You never know. I might get a perch on this. This is just for fun. I don't think he's gonna take my rod into the lake. All right. All right, striking it is. Let's try it. Lightning shad. We still have some power bait left. Anything goes. You might be actually completely right about that. It was still sunny when we were fishing. We were getting crappie off. I was bouncing off the bottom and getting fish left and right. But let's do striking. You might be right about that. I mean, we started fishing at what, about 10 a.m. No, we've been fishing for what, almost 2 hours. So yeah, we started fishing at 11 a.m. and the bite just disappeared. But I also changed the spot. Hmm. Might have to use my favorite jig head for this with the underspin. Let's see if it'll change the tide of the fishing. Thanks for the likes, guys. I feel like I'm not deserving them now, but I appreciate them. At least the string quality is better today. Had a bite. I think I did. No, that's seaweed. Is that seaweed? Yeah. Hmm. What I'm going to do is I'll switch up to my favorite underspin jig head and we'll try that. Hold on. Fish. Okay, we got a break, guys. It came off. God damn. Why? Why you do this to me, Timmy? I had a fish and it came off. That's it. Next one, I'm changing to my favorite underspin. Now we're just gonna let it drop. All right, hold on. Stay with me, folks. I don't know where I put my scissors I was using last time. Hold on. I mean, it looks pretty good. I would eat that. Look at it. Why he no bite? Where did I throw my scissors last time? You guys want to fish on gummy worm? What do you think about the red one? Trash fish? No, I'm not by the Pine Barrens. Yeah, Demon. The trash can that we put out on the last stream and put it next to the bench. I think it's been what is it called? Adopted by the park rangers to be serving as a local trash can now. That's a pretty good find, dude. I was absolutely terrified what I was going to find there because in Jersey you never know. It might have been a politician. In Jersey you never know. I can't find my scissors. Hold on. These are actually bigger jig heads. Hold on. Where did my scissors go? I definitely put them away. Hold, stay with me, guys. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, we randomly found a trash can in the water. We thought it was a body in a suitcase. Turned out to be a trash can. I pulled it out of the water and I put it next to one of the park benches, and it's still sitting there, which is pretty funny. That trash can is going fully undercover. All right. Well, I can't find my scissors, and I don't want to waste your time, so we're just going to use my snips. What I'm going to do is I'll put on a heavier jig head and black color, and we'll try that. And we might even fish with a gummy worm, like those brain dad kids. All right. Really like these jig heads. Black is still my favorite. Something about it. And I can't buy black. You want me to try? No. So to respond to the person that asked me about the Pine Barrens, I'm not by the Pine Barrens. That's south. My guys from my fire department go ATVing and riding their dirt bikes in the Pine Barrens. All right, let's work. Let's work quickly. Oh, well, fish. How you going, kid? Hold on. All right, we got one. All right, we have been redeemed. Uh-oh. Look at him. That boy's fat. Come on in, buddy. I told you I was going to get a fat bluegill. I don't mean to, call you out like that, but, you are pretty chunky, buddy. Look at this guy. Now, where's my hook? You might become fish chum, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's pretty deep in there. Well, let's try it. We shall try to release him. Look at this guy. Chunky. Okay, look away. Okay, actually not bad. Came right out. So, yeah. If you can't catch anything, catch it with worms. He's all right. It really wasn't that bad. I love it. My fishing streams are basically like a squirrel fishing. You want me to try? Let's try a gummy bear. I mean, I'll throw it out there. I just want to put my favorite underspin with. I really don't mind. Like I said, I don't want to bore you guys to death. Maybe we'll get some excitement out of it. If I catch a fish in a gummy bear, you guys are going to hear me in a different state. All right, hold on. Where's Super Mario at? Oh, I see my Rapala scissors. You see, I'm telling you, it's like fishing with a squirrel today. All over the place. All right, all over the place. Like a case study for ADHD. Super Mario. He has a very violent brother, Luigi, who doesn't like healthcare CEOs, if you know what I mean. All right, let's see. Where's the line at? Here's the line. I really like these underspins. They're technically for crappie, but they're a little heavy for this rod, but they'll do. I gotta get at least one fish before we end the stream, right? Let me throw this in my bag. Let's check the knot strength. It's pretty good. Let's throw this on. Here we go. And before I throw this in, I'll cave in and I'll put a gummy bear. Okay, so this right here is deadly. I don't know why, but I caught bass on a big bass on this. There's something about the black jig head and this tail. But before we do that, you guys want me to fish with a gummy worm? I'll oblige. We might catch something. Like you'll always catch a fish on it in the spring. Like it's easy to catch them when they're spawning. It's a different story to catch them when they're not spawning. Because a spawning fish will bite anything. All right, I feel like a TikToker now. Hold on, let me eat this one. Oh, it's pretty good, man. Hey, what's going on, Chaz? I remember you. Yo, what's going on, Roy? Look what they got me doing, man. Best hooks in the world to cook this gummy bear. Look what these kids got me doing. I guess this is what retirement looks like, right? All right. Okay. If this is as American as it gets, let's cast this out there. Oh, this thing flies. All right, we might get a, you never know, we might get a snooky. All right, let's leave this out here. Let's let it sit there. I don't have much hope, but next thing you know, we're going to get a bullhead catfish on this. And I'll be buying a new diver presso today from Amazon. Now, let's have some fun. How's it going? All right. I just threw a whole thing on. You never know, man. Let them eat cake. These bluegills, you saw, remember yesterday, the size of a power bait that bluegill ate that were throwing in the river for trout? Okay. I have hope in the underspin. I gotta tell you, the wind is absolutely picking up. You know what? We might be able to push it to 100 likes today to beat my depression. So if you're new, double tap the screen, help Grumpy Orca survive a blue Thursday. Ronnie, I was going to ask you, those crappie jigs that you make, they look awesome. Do they work for all? do they work in all states, or they're just specifically for the body of water with that color? Because here in Jersey, we go, you know, like the water and the environment is a little different from yours. Like I noticed that the best color of the jig heads here is black and white. But in the ocean, I do use green jig heads sometimes. Hmm. I wonder if you catch a bullhead catfish on a gummy worm. I'm generally wondering that. Gotcha. Well, after the holidays, I might have some fun, so you make me some. But yeah, before you showed up, we caught 6 crappie in a row in the bluegill, just back to back. I was like teaching people how to fish, had all this confidence, but now I'm fishing with gummy bears. That's how bad it got. Oh, that was a bite, man. Yeah, but the wind is brutal today. We basically walked in probably randomly on a school of crappie, and I was pulling them out one by one. How many? We caught 6 crappie. Hmm. They really have me puzzled here today. And we caught all that fish, all 6 with a 1 gulp minnow, just bouncing off the bottom. See what happens. Has anybody actually caught anything with a gummy bear? That's not a fish, that's seaweed. Okay. Who's having some New Year resolutions? Who wants some seaweed? You munch on this, definitely gonna lose some weight after you catch some sort of a waterborne disease. All right. Chartreuse and yellow. All right, I might take. I do have a chartreuse jig head in my. Okay, is that a fish or is that seaweed? He's not fighting back, so it must be seaweed. Please, please, no suitcases today. Yeah, that is big boy seaweed. Look at this guy, the granddaddy of all seaweed, the final boss. I'll take your advice, Ryan. I'll try chartreuse here. I'm thinking where to cast. Just get it far away. Wow, took off some line. All right, you got me, Ryan. We'll try it next time I'm out. I don't want to bore you guys to death changing it right now. I have it somewhere. I also grabbed this bag of, I don't know if I have it on me right now. Hold on. Ow, 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 ow. Look at this. You think this will work here as a electric chicken lightning shed by striking? What do you guys think? Should I throw that on? I just like the name electric chicken. There's something about chicken and all these new fishing lure names. Gulp uses it. Trout Magnus uses. Hmm. Let's change the spot and then we'll use electric chicken. How about that? Man, we did catch that bluegill on the worm, but does that even count? Try it on trout. All right, let's try it. I'm gonna cast 1 or 2 times with the clear shad, and we'll try that pink color. Toot, 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 toot. Ah, oh, so tight. Hold on. Yeah, just dead in the water. All right, let's try that. Usually with this bounce over here, I can land a dinky bass on a day like this, but not today. You can see it swimming. It swims beautifully. All right. Oh, you know what? I have a Rapala, but a Rapala probably wouldn't work today if stuff like this is not working. Maybe we shouldn't waste our time. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I never opened this thing. I just saw it in my fishing van, and I was like, let me try this. I already paid money for it. Okay. All right. There it goes. I've never caught a fish on one of these. So make sure we go down the middle. All right. Let's try the pink. Can you see the frustrations in my eyes? It is here, the Eastern European sad eyes. It is not good today. Let me just try running through the water column. Oh, wait, had a bite. Let me just get a jig. Or maybe that was seaweed. If I had my boots today, I'd just pop in there and cast along the weed line, but I do not have today. Hmm. Okay, that's no fish. But the seaweed, hold on to the stick there. Let's not catch that. All right, should we go and check the gummy bear? One more chest. You see it, Ronyo? Wait a minute. Hold on, Shady. Did I lose a tail? No, I didn't. I thought I lost a tail. Trying to let it drop. Yeah, Jason. The only problem is if you tell that to my wife, she'll say, "Well, he's not going to work anyway, so that's why he's fishing." Not true, but I work at night. But I like that. I'll keep that as a. I'll print screen that. All right, Bavaria Sky. Thank you for sticking around. Well, I can tell you, if you're having a bad day at work, you can change it by not going to work and going fishing the next day. Your boss might not like that, though. Mine sure didn't. Nah. Oh, wait. Is it? No, it's. Oh, holy crap. That just came from my head. Okay, what did Grumpy Orca just do? Okay, we caught bush. Hold on. All right, hold on. We're going to get in there. Oh, okay. Hold on. Here, we got him out. All right, one more cast with this thing, and we're gonna go check the gummy bear, and maybe I'll end myself from. Hold on, man. It started so good today. It started so well. We caught two fish and three casts, and here we are. We're gonna drag it through the water column. Maybe something will bite it. And here we are. All right, let's go check on the gummy bear. Who thinks there's a fish on gummy bear? Hey, David. It's a lake in New Jersey. Gummy bears, gummy barken. Wait, how do you say bears in German? Barken. Either way, see you, Sky. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right. Here come a very defeated Grumpy Orca's going to check. Oh, look at that giant snapper. Not a giant one, but okay. If that thing bite, you might be missing a finger. That's a pretty decent sized juvenile snapping turtle. I mean, if you guys want, I can catch him, but he's not going to be very happy about it. And you are allowed to keep those in New Jersey as a food source, just so you know. Yeah, you get bitten by one of those, you're going to be having a bad day. And those things get gigantic. They get up to like 100 something pounds. We accidentally snagged a big one time, and that wasn't even very close to me. I cut the line. All right, time to check on gummy worms. Hold on. This is what the stream wants. Oh, gummy. Wait, what if we shape this guy as a trout magnet? Hold on. After all, I'm a scientist. All right, let's check it. Let's try it. I'm pretty sure my butt is in poison ivy right now. For those showing up to the stream, we're doing very serious fishing today. Let's shape him like a. He's a little slippery. And this guy doesn't know what he signed up for. Let's shape him like a trout magnet. I can't even cut him. Can you believe we eat this stuff? Hold on. We're getting there. Okay. That one's gonna get eaten by one happy ant. And oh look, Grumpy Orca just made trout magnet out of gummy bear. All right, let's try it. People coming into the stream that never saw me fish must be very confused right now. All right, and look, check this out. I always wanted to do this. Might get sponsored by gummy bears. You never know. It's very hard to put a hook through this. I don't know how we eat this stuff. All right, let's try it. If I catch a fish on this, I'm done fishing for the day. Let me charge up the phone. Hold on, guys. Gotta put you on juice. The good juice. I got 99 likes. Look at that. No, they don't float. Yes, Demon. Oh, thanks. I reached it. So snapping turtles in Jersey are not considered endangered. Uh, they're actually quite a nuisance. They break into. So I have a small pond that's overgrown. They always break into my pond and kill all my goldfish. But there is no limit. I think you can catch up to like. There might be a limit of 5 per day, but we can. I can basically go out here and feed my family with snapping turtles for the rest of the year, and nobody will bat an eye. I mean, it's going to be a little weird, but I mean, fishing with a gummy bear. You got Grumpy Oak going crazy. But yeah, snapping turtles are abundant in the state of New Jersey. I know in other states people love making stew out of them, but in Jersey, everybody's like a Kardashian. So God forbid you tell somebody you killed a native snapping turtle. Oh, look at that. Should we go see what that is? That is a bucket or something. But I'm not sure if I want to mess with that. Yeah, but you can totally keep and eat. I'd be damned. Is that a fish? No, that's a seaweed. Oh my God, you gave me a heart attack. If I catch a fish on a gummy bear, I might have to shut down my channel. But apparently, snapping turtles. There's a guy. I think his name is Deer Meat for Dinner. I don't know if he still has a YouTube channel. Great guy. He had a couple of videos because we did catch a huge snapper turtle in our pond one time, and he kept coming back. So I was just gonna eat it. And my kid and I considered shortly keeping it, but we decided against it. And we watched the deer meat for dinner, how he catches them and cuts off their limbs and makes stew out of them. Pretty nasty videos, but that's what you gotta do when you deal with snapping turtle. The gummy worms do not float. I'm sure if you just throw it in the water, it'll float, but I have a sinker. All right, we're just messing around here at this point. Hold on, I had a bite. What? Okay. I'm basically jigging it like a trout magnet. Trout magnet basically looks exactly the same. It's just the only difference between a trout magnet and what I made here is, look, it's kind of pretty. I might start selling these. The difference between trout magnet and a gummy worm is that the trout magnet has a split grub tail. I did feel like I just had a bite over there. I got more likes fishing with gummy than I got fishing with other stuff that actually catches fish. All right, this is gonna be like our last cast, and we'll stop messing around and go back to fishing. I can't believe how quickly the lake turned off after we were catching all that fish. Okay, maybe one more. How you doing, Nahaya? No, we're not snagging fish. Definitely not your uncle, though. How's it going, Cody? All right, let's pull this out and be done. Okay, that's seaweed, right? Yes, it is. We're just messing around at this point. All right, let me put this away so I'm gonna stop embarrassing myself. But I'm sure catfish will enjoy that. If you ever tried the gulp, that liquid that they put gulp minnows in, I accidentally tried it, and it's sweet out of all the things. What do you guys want to do? I can probably fish for the next 20 minutes. What should we do? I don't want to put Snoopy on. I do have trout magnets here in the box, but I don't think they're going to give us any luck today. But that's a good if you want to catch some trout, that's a good deal right there. I think it's like $14 at Walmart. Mm, any ideas? What do you guys want to fish with? I have a 3-inch gulp minnow here in black shad. Let's try that. It's a little bigger than I'd like to use, but black shad is my favorite color. Hold on, this guy doesn't have a nice tail. We got to 106 likes. Yay! Thank you guys. I didn't think I was going to break 100 today. All right. If we're going to catch something on this, it's probably going to be a bass. Let's try it. I mean, it's a little big for crappie, but Ronio's Adventures might know better than me. Uh, I like to use 2.5-inch for crappie. 3-inch don't get as many bites. Yeah, watch me catch a bass on an ultralight rod and break. Hold on. I think about something else to fish for next stream. Tomorrow I won't be able to stream. I got a lot of work to do at my house. And at the ocean right now, it's one of those times where you can't really catch fluke anymore. The stripers are not there, so the only thing you're gonna catch is sand sharks and skates. And I feel like I'm gonna bore you out of your mind if I do that. Maybe we can go trout fishing again. Chase around 3 fish in a puddle of water. How you doing, Justin? Ronya, do they stock trout? Well, I guess you don't. The water's too hot there, right? I wonder where they drop off the trout stockings. Is it around the Carolinas? Like, I'm sure they stock North Carolina rivers. I always wondered where they stop. Wow, it is so dead. It's amazing. Hold on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this on my other jig head. I really want to just catch something for you guys. This thing didn't work, but we can always try that next time. Next time I'm next to a school of crappie, I'll try this. I really want to catch a fish on that. This is a pretty big jig head. Let's try it. All right, let me throw this in my pocket. I'm fishing in Jersey, New Jersey. I feel like I'm fishing in a storm. Hold on, let's let it blow over. Let it drop to the bottom. They're a monster perch in this lake, but they're super interesting how they bite. They'll only bite at certain times of the year, but I'm pretty sure that it's filled with these perch. Maybe they just don't come close to the shore or to the bank. I always wonder where they go because I'll catch gigantic ones, which means like they grow full size. Let me change the spot real quick. South Carolina is the cutoff. That would make sense, I guess. Because when I used to go to when I used to ride my motorcycle, we used to go to the Deals Gap in North Carolina, and those rivers look beautiful and they were pretty cold. So it makes sense. Right around that area, still kind of felt like a good breeding ground for trout. Oh no, what did I just do? Hold on, guys, one second. All right, well, we haven't had much luck, so at least try something, right? Hopefully nobody steals my gear. We'll let it drop to the bottom and same way, jig it up to the top. Surprised we haven't caught any dinky bass today. Usually that's what we catch, at least one of those jigging the Gulf minnow. Doo, doo, doo. Oh no. Yeah, this one's definitely not helping. I'm just gonna swim to stop water and get it back. Jeez. You see how bad the wind is? I casted it out and I had to drag it quick to make sure it doesn't get tangled. Alright, let's try it again. Uh-oh, we got a bait. We got one coming in. Hold on. Jeez. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, Alicia Johnson, but I was actually I was staying up there and that's why I came down. But thanks for the advice. I appreciate it. Justin Hennick, Hennicock. I'll. I'm still on the fence about catching and eating a snapping turtle. I feel like if I do it on live stream, I'm gonna get reported to PETA because a lot of people don't know you can catch them and eat them. But yeah, I am totally down for trying that. Ever since my trip to South Korea and eating all the authentic food with people that speak zero English, I can absolutely eat anything in the world. I'll tell you that, guaranteed. I ate some weird stuff there, but I kind of enjoyed it. Hmm. Nada. No got a nothing, Bob. Oh, fish. We got one, boys. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God, monster crappie. Okay. I have redeemed myself. Let's get him over here. I'm not even lifting, but I don't want to break the line. Okay, biggest crappie of the day. Oh, you chunky, man. Okay, the skunk is off. That's a nice sized fish. Look at this beautiful fish. All right, he munched. Look at the mouth. He chunky. Nothing personal, buddy. I'll let you go. That's by far the biggest crappie I have caught in the past, say, month. I know it's not big for some of you, but man, at least I redeemed myself. There you go, and I'll show you what I caught him on. Let's let him go. He's probably just gonna lay on the seaweed. No, he's not. All right, come on, buddy. Let's go. Swim away. Let's see what we got him on. Yeah, I did notice those big crappie like to hang out right in the weeds. So we caught him on the 3-inch gob minnow and jig head with a little underspin. Grumpy Orca favorite, the black shell gob minnow. Okay, all right. Thanks for sticking with me. We got one. So all I did was I was just bouncing off the bottom. Now I'm starting to sound like I know what I'm doing. You might be fishing 30 minutes. That's good, man. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I always make fun of myself. I always say that whenever I'm fishing, I'm catching fish. I don't get super confident, and whenever I get skunked, it feels like group therapy for Grumpy Orca. Hold on, let me put you on the magnet. Give me a sec. I don't want to drop you guys in the water. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, let's see if we can get another one. Nope, almost dropped you. Now we're good. But that guy bit right next to the seaweed. Oh, it's a fish. We got another one. Okay, now Grumpy Orca is going to sound like he knows what he's talking about. Yeah, so I just cast it in and get this fish, after struggling for a freaking hour. There you go. Another one. So basically, the bottom line is the lesson today is don't be cocky and find a school of crappie and just keep catching them. See? 2 in a row. And don't leave until you catch the whole school. I'm telling you. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Today's definitely group therapy day. Speaking of therapy, I gotta get my shoulder shot tomorrow. I might not be fishing. I've never gotten a shoulder shot in my whole life. But after my accident, I had to get it done. Otherwise, my shoulder is no bueno. So I might not be fishing tomorrow after all. Have to go see an orthopedic surgeon for that. I don't think that's a fish. That's a seaweed. All right, let's keep fishing. Probably fish for another 10 minutes. Yeah, that was by far the first crappie I caught. Yeah, probably a car's zone shot. I still have to double check what they're giving me. Crappie link. Yeah, it's probably because I gotta check. I know it's some sort of a shot because my joint, like I was in a pretty bad car accident while I was working. Fish. Oh, come on. I had a fish on, and I think it's seaweed now. And it was so bad that I can't fix it with physical therapy, so they're gonna have to shoot me up. I think it is. I gotta check. My wife asked me the same thing. See, sometimes the grumpy worker doesn't even know what they're putting in his body. But I got a good orthopedic surgeon. He knows what he's doing. All right, I'm gonna rig him through the belly because the top is getting a little beat up. Keeps sliding off the hook. So yeah, there's definitely a bunch of crappie here. That's why they're biting. Usually don't catch crappie out of this spot. Yeah, the shots do work miracles. I'm always averse to shots, but I was always consider myself a tough fireman, and I never went. I used to actually a side job. I used to transport people as a medical transport, and I used to take people just to medical offices and stuff. That was good money in college. Oh, oh, come on, man! That's the second fish that came off. What's? Oh, that crappie's still here, bro. You hold on. Now we have seaweed. Hold on. This dude is still hanging out with us. He just wanted to be part of the chat. You never left me a like, dude. Hold on. Come back here. What about a little like, a little donation? I'm just kidding. But he's still right there. You see him? See, you see his tail? Hold on. Let's help him leave. Uh, okay. This is my proper fish cleaning device. Come on, buddy. Just get out of here. Next thing you know, snapping turtle is gonna get you. We don't want that. He's still stuck. Next time I'll throw him a little further. He's gone now. Oh, oh shit! Almost went in. If I go swimming that water, I'll need another shot. Thanks, Justin. You're definitely welcome. I was actually a volunteer fireman, and I loved that job. But I was a paid medic. I absolutely love being a volunteer. If you want to meet some good guys and gals in your community and serve, and you're young, and I recommend joining a volunteer fire department, not only for the company but also for free training. I used to go to the Middlesex County Fire Academy. I took a bunch of classes there, not only for fire school. I think I got it's free education, and some of it is really good. You can do fire science, and then yeah, it was cool. I like that. I did that for 8 years, and I worked as a medic, paid for a little longer. You're definitely gonna have a thick skin if you work at a volunteer firehouse. Everybody cracks jokes left and right. Fish or seaweed? I'm still not sure. I think that's seaweed. Yes. All right, let's get another one on the boat because I did have bites over there. I can only probably fish for 5 more minutes because I really need to run. Yeah, he's an EMT. That's awesome. It got much harder. I was a national registered EMT for 12 years. Oh, hold on. Where, dude? Oh man, now they're just messing with me. Now they're just messing with me. It's either fish or I can't just strike seaweed like that. Yeah, I was a national registered EMT. You got to renew it every 4 years. I liked it. It's a little like it'll just mess with your head a little bit sometimes when you get bad calls. I think it definitely messed me up a little bit. That's why I have a dark sense of humor. But overall, it's a very rewarding job. I still don't recommend doing that as a career. It's much better to be a paid fireman. And I don't recommend being a police officer. That's also tough. I lost a lot of friends that were police officers, and not to gun violence, just to not being able to deal with their demons. It's actually super sad. Super sad. A lot of cops are just really well-natured people that want to help, but the job is tough, and a lot of people hate you. All right, let's let it drop in the water calm. I'm gonna get a fish in this cast. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna get a fish, and Grumpy Orca is gonna bounce because Miss Orca is about to chop his head off. How's it going, Earl Cox? So when I stopped working emergency services, I really missed those nights when I used to work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. usually. On the firehouse, you work around the clock, but I really missed those, like just being on call at night. That's why I became like I really like driving people. I feel like I'm back doing EMS. I'll drive people through everywhere. It's always an adventure. All right, I got 3 more casts in me. All right, I'm gonna make a deal with you because I gotta save my marriage too. And I'm gonna try to get you a crappie on one of these casts. And I do appreciate those people that stick around with me and show up. Okay, I told you I was gonna get it. Come on, man. What the hell, dude? And now I'm staying here. I'm gonna get that fish, dude. That's the 3rd time. Hold on. That's definitely a crappie, and it came off again. I'm gonna get you, man. Look, slid my minnow down and everything. I'm gonna get you, dude. All right, we're gonna get that guy. He's somewhere there. I ain't, I'm not leaving. I'm not freaking leaving. Remember that movie, Wolf of Wall Street? I'm gonna get him. It's me versus nature. Come back here. I told you I was gonna get you. I told you I was gonna get you. I told you. I told you I was gonna get you. Come here. Why are you messing with me like that? I'm just in character. I'm not a fish abuser. I told you I was gonna get you. He already has a sore lip from before. Look, you see that lip? It's a little torn. That's not from me. Mine was on the bottom. You messing with me, man. All right, let's let it go. I'll catch you later, buddy. There you go. Sometimes you got to talk the talk, man. All right, 2 more casts. That fish was definitely messing with me this whole time. We're gonna let it drop to the bottom and just jig it off the bottom. Ah, I had one. Yeah, they're all over there. I'm just gonna memorize the spot in my head because that's they're hanging out there right now. I'll remember that. There's a bunch of them there. I keep pulling my gut. Look how beat up the minnow is. We did get 3 fish on it. All right, 1 more fish and we call it a day. All I'm doing is you see my wrist going. I'm just doing a little. I let it drop to the bottom. I'm just doing a little jig off the bottom. Pick up the line. Pick up the line. Just do a little jigging, and eventually I just said, hold on. I don't know if that's a fish. No, that's not fish. That's seaweed. Unless it's a big fish. No, it's seaweed. Wow, that's a big one. All right, I'm gonna try a couple more casts. I really need to run, but I want to catch 1 more fish. Somewhere there's a fish. No, let's see it again. All right. kind of left all my stuff over there. I don't know. Don't want to lose all my fishing gear. There was a kid on Facebook. Apparently, he got all his catfishing rods stolen, and there was like a GoFundMe for him. But I think later they figured out the kid just went to sleep and left the rods like by his house. In terms of like he wasn't actually tending his rods. He just kind of figured he was gonna throw out a bunch of catch fishing rods and go home and come back in the morning. Well, surprise, surprise, fishing rods were gone. All right, right there should be a fish. I think that's where they were biting. No. One more cast. That's it. That's all Grumpy Orca got on him. Because I kind of left my gear there, and there's people walking around, so I want to make sure I don't feel like buying new gear this month. Okay, that's fish. That's a fish. Told you. I told you. How you doing, kid? All right, you're the last fish of the stream. And you know what? Last fish on the stream always gets let go. Just like all your friends did let go today. It's a good sized crappie. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I couldn't picture this. I got me a crappie to finish the stream. Hi, guys. I'm not kissing it. I don't want no diseases. We're in Jersey. You know, I told you Snoopy somewhere around in that lake. Thanks. Thanks for sticking with me today. I appreciate you. Go out there and do some fishing. Um, Grumpy Orca out. Thanks again. We're fishing in Jersey. Peace.